What's up, guys? Can y'all hear me? How's the sound? Can you see me? Coffee ain't ready, man. We are running behind this morning at JDTC. It's busy during the week with the kids in school and all that good stuff. But we're here and we got some stuff to talk about. So we're pumped. How's everybody doing? I ain't seen everybody in a while. Bonnie Bailey, Pamela Neal, Selena. Hi, Selena, and thank you. I see you watch the Game of Thrones video and you don't even know nothing about it. You don't like it. And I appreciate that because, it kind of gets, it's something for me to do that I like, and it's not depressing. So I think it's therapeutic. I'm going to start bouncing Game of Thrones videos in with missing persons and true crime stuff. I might split them into the two channels. Brandy thinks it's going to mess up our big channel doing Game of Thrones stuff, but I think it's refreshing. Can you guys hear me? I hope so. I hope I ain't been sitting here miming to y'all the whole time. Can y'all hear me good? Mic, camera, action, everything good? Hi, Annabella. Hi, Holly, Brenda. Pretty Flutter by Star. Brandy, I know you like some Game of Thrones. You liked the video, didn't you? Sounds good. Good. Awesome. I love the idea, John. Awesome. Loud and clear. Awesome. Hi, Suzette. How you been? Anyway, today, as y'all can see, we still got the board up from the last live, which we're going to get back to that. I don't think we're going to go over that stuff today. And JSB should be removed because I have decided to take her off the list. But we'll get back to that. I don't know, in the next couple days, because we got to start doing some more lives, getting out there. We don't, but I don't want to go over the same BS everybody else is doing too. I thought I would try this today with Eliza Fletcher, because it is there's such, it's a crazy story for one thing. And this, I think, out of her story is about the most amazing thing I've heard so far. Is they got DNA back in like 24 hours. I never realized that you could put a rush on some DNA like that. And that is damned impressive that the law enforcement was able to do that. Matched it up and got dude. It is amazing how good of a job, how fast of a job they did when it comes to her story. I'd say a lot of you probably know it, but Eliza Fletcher, she was out in the early morning hours. It was still dark out, jogging. And a guy pulls up, grabs her, puts her in the car, and takes off. And it's a horrifying thing to watch. But like I said, she was out and she was having her a jog, and this dude just snatches her. Well, they got that on film too. They got the car. So they had really good evidence right off the bat. And then, they had found her shoes and got his DNA from that. And it's amazing that they had his DNA on them. But it's amazing how amazing when the family has money. Maybe, who knows? Could that be some of it? I don't know. But, I don't want to get on them for having money, And I think most anybody whose family had money and was able to do that would do it. I would, if I had money and I could pay to get justice for my loved one, I'd pay the money. And I'm not saying that's the his shoes, sliders. Yeah, that's what it was. I knew it was sliders. I was thinking, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I think I misspoke. But it's awful. To have it on video is awful too, man. It's a bad thing to see something like that happen to a woman who's just out for a jog. Then you get into this guy's past, And it's even more astonishing that this happened, because this guy had a history of kidnapping, had been in jail for it. So I think that is awful. I think a lot of people want to think, you know, that the system is at fault here, but the guy, he did his time. You can't give everybody that does kidnapping life, you know what I'm saying? And you would think, I've never heard exact stats on kidnapping, but you would think that kidnapping isn't a high risk of reoffense. I wouldn't think, personally, not as much as like, bad guys that commit SA. I'm sure that is a lot higher than the somebody kidnapping more than once. Because I say, and to go along with that, most kidnappings probably are somebody they know. So this is like this dude's just as far as I've seen, they don't know each other. It is astonishing how quickly he got her in that SUV. Yeah, yeah, and you wish she could have outrun his ass, And the dude's a scary looking guy. I got a picture of him. I'll show y'all. I think so. He looks like he's pretty good sized dude too. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. I'll show you what he looks like. That's the guy. But you see this guy out, you wouldn't think, he doesn't look like the kind of guy that would do something like that. I wouldn't look at this guy and be extremely suspicious. He looks pretty big. That's the only shot I've seen of him. It's awful that she couldn't got away from that guy. That would have been ideal. And then they would have had that video. I'm sure they could have still figured him out and his ass been back in jail. But, like I said, he was in jail for kidnapping. And I read in one thing that he had also had a rape charge at like 12 or something. So that's mind blowing, also, I think. 12, that seemed like way, way young. It's bad though, man. That a woman out jogging, that happens to her. And, they was hopes of finding her alive. They got out the alert. The word got out really quick. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to slurp my coffee, but it's hot as hell. So I'm going to have to let it cool down a minute. Just a bad dude from the get-go. Yeah. I think that's a lot of the case, too. I think, these guys are just bad dudes. I think it just happens. I think a lot of it can be, how they come up. Because I know a lot of the BTKs and stuff of the world, it seems like they come up, with this something inside of them. I don't know what it is. But you got it right. He does seem like he was just a bad dude from the get-go. With charges on him that young, it's pretty astonishing that was the case. I think he knew something about her. See, hi, kitty cat. Single mama 4. Yeah. I don't know, I haven't seen to where he had any knowledge of her before. His father is doing time and his brother too. Well, that's probably a lot of the problem. You know, I think that kind of shit just gets carried down. It's a generational thing. And it, you know, somebody was saying that his father doing his time and his brother. Well, there's the problem. The father's doing the time, and that's, in my opinion, the father doing time is probably why the sons are. You know, you grow up and dad's in jail, and you're thinking, well, you know, he comes back every now and then, just do like dad does. Becomes the norm, I think, in some families. I just think he knew she ran there every morning. He might have, you know, because from what I understood, she was a pretty avid jogger. So there's a good chance he might have seen her before, you know. Um, Tennessee has a truth in sentencing law, so he should have done the whole 24 years in prison instead of just 20 for the prior kidnapping. Yeah. How long had that guy been out, Brandy? Do you know? That's kind of shocking. 3 years? You reckon this is his first and only crime?
No, I think he's probably done it before, just not got caught. Because he also has charges of identity theft, credit card fraud. They just found, I guess they found other.
Didn't he have a rape charge in like as a
Yeah,
minor? I mean, you read that, I thought.
Yeah, when he's 12.
Yeah.
And he went to jail for kidnapping 16. But I'm just saying, recently when they did the murder charges, they put credit card fraud, identity theft, so you had somebody else's possessions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are you going, Kiely?
Yeah. He's liable to. I would about bet he's done something in the 3 years he's been out.
You know it because he's been stealing people's credit card, or there's proof of that because they charged him with it. So, and they acted really quick. Law enforcement. They got his DNA back in 24 hours. Arrested his butt.
That's what I was saying earlier. Somebody said that it's nice when your family has money. I was like, you never know. Could be, you know. I was like, but I'm not going to down him for it. If I had money and I could affect that kind of stuff, I'd do it too, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, the good thing they had him, the vehicle, the partial license plates on camera, so they got that, and then the vehicle, I guess they tracked it down. Yeah. So they had a lot of evidence.
I think I might have a picture of the car too.
Yeah, it's a GMC something. And at first, I was thinking everybody was saying the husband had something to do with it, but then
there's the picture of it that was on surveillance camera.
And now the cops and law enforcement saying it was the isolated event. So like it was random, maybe I don't know. What does that mean, isolated?
I would think specific to just that.
So I don't know.
I
hope her husband wasn't linked to it.
I know, that's what you told me to begin with.
Well, at first I thought because they took something about the nanny and they took garden shears from her house as evidence at their house. I don't know.
Really? Before they found her or after?
I don't know. It was sometime. No, it was before they found her. Because I don't know. It's weird.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And I think he might have killed her right when he took her because that car stood there for 4 minutes before it took off. So.
Yeah. Hi, Angie Davis. I seen where it said though, didn't it pull by her and then stop and wait on her to come?
Yeah, he's around there for 20 minutes. That's what I'm saying. He knew, like he was waiting on, I think, on her. So he must have seen her or something before.
Yeah, you think so? If he was right in that area for 20 minutes before she came.
That's what made me think maybe it was a setup, but I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff. unless he's out of that time, maybe working or something, and seen her before and just took the opportunity. Knew she's coming by. I don't know.
I think he sat there for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
Truth in sentencing means certain felonies and violent crimes you do your whole time, like 100% of all your time. Okay. Yeah, that's how it should be.
He's just an evil person. Do something like that.
Her friend says she ran that route every single morning. I'm pretty sure he had seen her there before.
Yeah, that's what I was
Good
thinking
chance.
too.
I didn't realize he had been in the area that long. The way I read it, it made it out like he pulled by her, parked up the road, and waited on her to run by.
He
I didn't
did.
know he'd been running around the area for 20 minutes.
Yeah. And that footage of McDonald's footage of him in the, I think, dumpster disposing of evidence. So.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a slam dunk.
And they got her DNA. So. He's got a cut on his eye. You see his picture? A scratch.
The picture I seen, I didn't think I seen it.
One was old. I think the newer one has got shorter hair. I was looking at the older one too. See, that's the older picture. No, let's see.
That's a mug shot.
I don't think that's the one.
That's not the current one.
No, the one's got a scratch under his eye.
Oh, yeah. Where she got him?
Yeah.
Good for her.
I was thinking if you jogged like that, it would probably be better to do it randomly at random times, not the same time every morning.
Yeah.
But
and a different route too, probably. There she is. I guess that was moments before the car pulled up.
It's creepy, isn't it? She followed. And she probably had headphones in or something, and probably didn't hear him coming up on her. Maybe. That's dangerous.
You know, I'm not a jogger, but I think if I was, I would definitely want to listen to music while I jog, but it seems like that's a bad idea. Because you can't hear nothing going on around you, you know.
Car come up and run over you.
I've always thought about that too. A car sneak up on you from behind and hit you. You know? Be awful. That whole story's bad though, ain't it?
Yeah, it really gets to me. Like, there's evil people out there everywhere.
I got an article I'm going to share. This is the most recent thing.
I'm just wondering if he really intentionally wanted to kill her, or he had other, you know, maybe, I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe where she thought he killed her.
Disturbing details emerged in the death of jogger Eliza Fletcher as the suspect is arraigned on murder charges. Police were searching near a vacant home in Memphis, Tennessee, when they discovered Eliza Fletcher's body in a discarded garbage bag containing what appears to be her running shorts. The disturbing details were included in an amended affidavit filed Tuesday in a Shelby County criminal court days after police arrested Cleotha. Cleotha?
Cleotha, or Cleotha, something like that.
Cleotha.
Something like that.
Abston in Fletcher's abduction. Abston, 38, was initially charged with kidnapping and tampering with evidence. See, they already had his ass before they even found her body.
Yeah.
First-degree murder and first-degree murder in perpetration of kidnapping were added after Fletcher's body was found. So that's an extra charge.
Yeah, some of this is new. I haven't read it.
He was arraigned Tuesday on the charges of kidnapping and tampering with evidence, where a judge ordered him to be held on a $510,000 bond.
He should never get out.
On Wednesday, during another arraignment on the murder charges, the judge revoked Abston's bond. Good. Well, I don't know why there'd be bonds for certain shit, especially when they got a lot of damn evidence.
That SOB should never be out again.
You can never trust him out again.
He's doing, at 12, raping women or girl, whatever he did. At 16, kidnapping. That's just crazy. And then get out and do it again.
Police were alerted to Fletcher's disappearance around 7 a.m. Friday after Richard Fletcher told officers that his wife had not returned home from her regular 4 a.m. jog, the affidavit states. Fletcher, an avid runner, kindergarten teacher, and a mother of two. I didn't know she had kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Was running near the University of Memphis when she disappeared. Security video showed a black GMC Terrain passing and then waiting for the victim to run by, according to a criminal complaint. A man then exited the vehicle, ran toward Fletcher, and forced her into the passenger seat. The complaint stated investigators determined that Abston was the man in the vehicle after his DNA was found on a pair of slide sandals at the scene. His phone also placed him in the area at the time Fletcher was abducted, authorities have said. Yeah, there's no way in hell this dude didn't do it. According to the affidavit, a witness told police that she saw Abston outside his brother's apartment cleaning the SUV with floor cleaner. The witness said it looked like Abston was behaving oddly. Abston's brother also told police that he saw him cleaning the car and washing his clothes in the sink of the house. The affidavit states the brother said Abston appeared to be acting very strange. So the family ain't covering for his ass, are they? No. Good.
They did arrest the brother on drug charges and weapon.
In surveillance video obtained by local news station WREG, Abston is seen arriving at the Longview Garden Apartments around 7:57 a.m. Friday in the footage. He sits in the car for a while before going inside his brother's apartment. He leaves the apartment and spends roughly an hour at the passenger side of the car, according to the news station. An hour at the passenger side of the car.
I wonder.
That's where the evidence was.
Yeah, I wonder if he got rid of the body that fast.
Abston was arrested Saturday after investigators found the SUV in a parking lot by his residence. The affidavit says that Abston refused to tell investigators where Fletcher was. He was arrested Saturday after found the SUV in a parking lot by his residence. Wow.
So at 7:58, he already, I guess, disposed of her and stuff, I guess.
Her body was located as police were searching in an area near Victor Street in Memphis. According to the affidavit, police saw vehicle tracks near the driveway of a home and smelled an odor of decay. Officers walked to the back of the home and found Fletcher on the ground, the affidavit says. Police continued to search the area and located a trash bag containing purple Lululemon running shorts that looked like the ones Eliza Fletcher was last seen wearing. Statement Tuesday, Fletcher's family said they were heartbroken over the loss. That's awful. I feel my heart goes out for the family. Liza was such a joy to so many, her family, friends, colleagues, students, parents, members of her Second Presbyterian Church congregation, and everyone who knew her. They said now it's time to remember and celebrate how special she was and to support those who cared so much for her.
Mm-hmm. I could tell by her picture and her smile, she was like a caring, genuine person. I just, how she acts. Every picture she has, she's smiling really big. Somebody said that the first victim that he kidnapped was in the worked in Eliza's uncle's office. The first victim he kidnapped.
Really?
Mm-hmm. See, I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit stuff with this case.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, I don't, if they found her shorts off of her, I wonder why, if they came off or he done something to her.
Oh.
Why would
I'm sure he done something to her.
Yeah, because there's a reason he kidnapped somebody. It was probably not for personal gain because she didn't have no purse, no wallet or anything on her, Yeah,
it wasn't a robbery.
So, yeah. That's sad.
I would say for sure shorts were off. They were off because he did something to her.
Sick.
And damn it, if that's the case, I don't know. You would think they would already know that and charged him with.
Yeah. Maybe they're waiting for DNA and stuff.
Yeah. I hope that dude. What state was that in?
Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee.
Was it?
Not far from here. So.
What's the death penalty? There is one in Tennessee, right?
I don't know.
Or is there not?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Any of the Tennessee locals here tell us if they have the death penalty in Tennessee?
The first victim was related to her and the lawyer. Wow.
And a lawyer.
And the
See, I think the first one, when they kidnapped him, they was trying to get money.
Yeah,
Because he was in the trunk of the car and they were taking him to ATMs or some shit.
He would have been killed too if he didn't call 911 or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now I read. He's lucky.
Yeah.
So he would probably have been dead too.
That's weird though.
Yeah, all the links to.
Well, it's weird that he would kidnap people for money the first time, but then the second time it wasn't, unless maybe he had planned on trying to ransom her, but he couldn't control her, so he ended up having to kill her.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe he kind of knew what family she came from, and I think he might have killed her trying to get her in a vehicle. I swear, like that 4 minutes, he might have not meant to, but or injured her really bad.
If she was scratched, like you saying, under his eyes, she was putting up a fight, so it could have been that. Maybe his initial idea was to ransom her.
Yeah, that's what maybe.
I tell you though, have you ever seen a person get away with a kidnapping for ransom?
No.
That's actually got their money and got away. I mean, I think with Lindbergh, I think it happened because I don't think they got the right dude in that case. But I haven't heard of many.
Lindbergh, was that the baby?
Yeah, Charles Lindbergh.
They never got the baby back, did they?
No, I was talking about nobody's ever got away with it.
Oh.
Period. There's very few examples of where the person got away with the money and didn't get caught.
The other case, that woman, they think she made it up. Remember, she was with the guy, and she was with him for a while, like a week or two, but she said she was kidnapped. Do you remember that? That was weird.
Yeah.
I think she might have made that up.
I think she made it up because there was some weird stuff going on with that.
I don't know if y'all know what we're talking about. You might be able to find out on her name there.
I can't remember her name either.
Yeah. But she was missing for a while, then I guess maybe she ran off with her boyfriend, had to make a cover-up story. I don't know. It was weird, though. It's creepy. It creeped me out. You're not safe anywhere nowadays. Really.
Mm-mm. So. That's horrible. Can't go out and jog. She was training for the Olympics, somebody said.
Oh, really?
That's what they said. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Sherry Papini. That sounds right. I think that's the kidnapped person you were talking about.
Y'all remember that? Yeah, it's creepy. I forget because it's been a while, but yeah.
I remember after seeing the full story laid out, I thought, nah, she's full of shit.
Yeah. And they never charged her, I don't think. Nothing.
And see, I think people that pull hoaxes should be charged just as bad as what the person they were trying to get in trouble would have got. Mm-hmm. Like if somebody had been arrested and sentenced for her kidnapping, gotten 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's what you should get for faking it.
Yeah. Tennessee does have a death penalty. Old Sparky is our electric chair nickname.
Sweet.
Put him in Mr. Sparky.
Throw him in Sparky. Don't wait no long time. Give him 3 days to think about it. Yeah. We're going to do it in 3 days.
Some of these cases, there's evidence. They shouldn't let these people hang around forever. And, you know, all our tax money, keeping them alive. Yeah. If there's really evidence, I guess it's not fair if you're convicted wrongly, but some of these people, you know, they get all the evidence there is. They should just fry them in the electric chair. Really. Yeah. I think
there should be like how like the death penalty is so hard because of all the things that you have to get accomplished. I think if you make it through that much shit, do it. Mm-hmm. You may get the wrong dude once out of every 1,000 possibly, but
that would suck.
It sucked to be him, but I'd rather not raise diabolical pieces of shit.
Yeah, one of these maniacs in jail or prison stab somebody else, kill them. You don't know what they'll do. They'll do anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
But I thought we would start out talking about Eliza Fletcher and get her story out, since it's pretty much wrapped up. You know, I wish it wouldn't have been. We wouldn't have done. Well, I don't know. I guess it's great to have closure. If you're ever going to get closure, I guess it'd be best to get it as soon as possible, right?
Yeah.
You know. So a lot of the people we talk about never get found. So, you know,
law enforcement was on top of this, and I don't know if it was just where there's so much evidence, but I think they did a good job.
Nah, they kicked ass,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
They kicked ass. They had that dude in jail in no time.
And it sucks because they could probably found him if he didn't hurt her, probably. You know what I mean? If he was going to keep her for ransom.
Yeah.
They probably could have found her in time.
I tell you, after, you know, knowing what I know now, as long as we've been watching the stuff we've been watching, right? I think if somebody in your family goes missing, the best thing you can do is call the police as soon as possible, and then go to the TV news, the local news.
Yeah.
You know it?
Yeah.
That's what I would do, to get the picture out there. And because the minute the news airs it, them cops are on a clock, a ticking clock.
Yeah.
And you know, if you ain't getting the response you feel, if they're not taking it serious enough, go straight to the damn news is what I would suggest. And get that shit out there. You know?
I agree.
I tell you though, it does. I think it should be celebrated how good they did in her case.
Which she probably was thinking, you know, you got to fight. You don't get in this vehicle, because that's what they tell you to do. You know, do not let them get you in the vehicle. So she's probably fighting for her life.
Yeah.
And that guy is just so big. I think he's like over 6 foot tall.
It really makes me wonder though, now thinking about his first kidnapping was going to be for ransom. Or, well, no, his first one, he was going to make dude give him the money.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. It makes me think this would have been for money too. And if she's jogging, he knows she ain't got money on her. Yeah. He had to premeditate it.
Yeah. Maybe there's a connection. He knew she was from that family. Maybe seen her a couple mornings and thought of thinking, you know, they got a lot of money. Maybe that's what he was doing. You never know.
But then again, if you think about it, he was convicted of rape early in his life, and that's a high reoffense rate.
At 12 years old.
It could have been that too. Could have been both. Who knows? This guy, you know, he's one of them. And, you know, when he had that and the kidnapping after that, that should... It would have been nice if it would have been punished more strictly, but, you know, he did do 20 years for the kidnapping. Still, what do you do though, you know? Do you make the sentence that much stiffer, and then all them people that maybe just made a mistake, a bad mistake, and has no... Because, you know, that does happen too, you know. There are people that just, for whatever reason, make a horrible decision that ruins their life.
Peer influence, like people influence them. A lot of people are weak and they get influenced by their own crowd.
Yeah. So. And it sucks, but, you know, you got to punish everybody the same, unfortunately. You know? But that dude, I think anytime, well, I think it ought to be down to you get 2 strikes is what I think on felonies. If you get 2 felonies, that second one, you just staying in jail.
Yeah, definitely.
Because to get to 3, which is what, you know, some states have, you could do 2 super damn bad things and then still do another one. You know?
I think you should get 1 chance. The second time, no. You know, 3 times, or depending on what it is. You get arrested once for something bad and you haven't learned your lesson and do something again.
There ought to be crimes that if you commit the same crime twice, or like a category like murder, SA, and a few other super bad things ought to be if you get them twice. Kidnapping, I would put kidnapping on that because kidnapping is some serious shit. You're getting a person, taking them against their will, scaring the hell out of them, even if they do live. You know, it's probably, I would think that could be something that would ruin a good 5-10 years of a person's life if they handled it decent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There should be that batch of crimes to where if you commit it twice, poof, you're out. And that would have been his because he had an SA and a kidnapping. That would have covered him. And it seems like to me a lot of the laws have just gotten slacker instead of stricter.
Yeah.
Like some of these states where as long as you shoplift, as long as it ain't over so much,
you get away with it.
Yeah, can't even be charged with it.
Which is crazy.
That's not the answer. You know who pays for that?
We do.
Somebody's paying for all this shit that's getting stolen.
Well, then they up the prices and we pay.
Yeah. So us people that go in the store and pay for shit get screwed by the ones that don't. All the while they're getting all their shit for free. That's why you can't go so soft on some of this shit. I'm sorry.
JDTC President 2024. You want to run for president?
I tell you what, I think it's better than the assholes that are at it now.
Yeah. I had to stop watching the news, and Jonathan don't watch it anymore either because it makes you so mad.
No.
So
I don't watch the news because I don't want to know what Donald Trump's done bad this week.
Yeah, that's all you hear. Yeah.
That's it. That's all you hear, you know? And they can't even leave him alone after he's out of office. It's ridiculous.
So they should be focusing on what they're doing good for the country.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot in the last couple of years about how this country runs, and it's not good.
Me and
I'm
Brandon,
sure everybody has.
Admittedly, like until the last 5 years, probably, we were pretty politically ignorant. You know? But
go ahead.
You distracted me, man. But now we're on top of things. Well, no, we're not recently because we've learned you can't watch it if unless you just want to be pissed off all the time, every day. And I'm not pushing one political party or another.
No.
I think both political parties are corrupt as hell. I think that's why they're so in love with smearing Trump is because they don't want somebody else that's not got strong political ties being president.
Yeah.
If he succeeds, that opens the door for other people. And they only want politicians. Both sides, Democrat and Republican, do not want somebody in there that's not a career politician.
Right. I was looking at these. Danny Two Boys been a member for 2 months. Tina Bolger's been a member for 6 months. She says he had a friend with him when the lawyer was kidnapped. His friend was begging him to let the lawyer go. The lawyer escaped and wanted leniency for the friend. I think Cleotha would have killed him probably. And then Sonia's been a member for 3 months. Do you not see that?
No, it's not on now. That's awesome.
Thank
you guys for being members.
Y'all stuck with us.
Y'all stuck with us.
Yeah.
We're getting back in the flow. I actually did another video that, I still haven't released it. It's a quickie though, but I think it's because I just want to see what the feel is for it. And I know a lot of people know about Maura Murray and Breonna Maitland. And it's creepy. Some of the similarities to their cases are.
I hope Summer's not going to be another one of those cases. Never get solved. You know?
Yeah. I was telling them too, we're going to get back to this on a live too, on the board. That's how we're going to do the suspect thing. JSB shouldn't be there. She should be off, and we should be left with the other 5.
Yeah.
You know,
we got to do video next one, I guess.
Yeah, I know a lot of people still mad because I took JSB off. I'm sorry, but we have to eliminate somebody. And this is not, I'm not saying that this is 100% the case. I could be wrong, sure. We're just doing this as a way to see where it leads, you know?
Yeah.
And I would have to say, like, probably 10% are mad that I'm taking her off, and 90% are probably like, yeah, I don't think she has nothing to do with it.
She acts weird, and if anybody has something to do with it, she might be covering for somebody in her family, but I don't think she actually did anything.
Right. And we're not talking having guilty knowledge.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Kylie's case, or just we'll save it for a different day?
The Carl Gas X was brilliant. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, we're going to talk something about Kylie too, because there's the thing that I've been stuck on with her is trying to decipher what is actual truth and what is rumor about how the car was found.
Yeah, we've heard a couple of different things, right, about the windows.
Yes, and specifically the windows. Now it says AWP says when they first or the divers down there that the window's broken out.
Mm-hmm. And then the other ones were rolled down. One of them were rolled down.
Right.
Right.
But that is the only time that's ever mentioned when they discuss the windows. When they discuss them later on, it says they're down, not knocked out, that it's down.
Right.
Can anybody, I'm sure you guys have been following it pretty tightly. Does anybody know for sure if the window was knocked out or if it was down? Because I think that's telling if it's not.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this, okay? When they were going back to her car, remember the friend was talking about they go back to the car and get a drink or whatever? I was thinking about this, right? It was hot as hell that day, that night too. I'm sure it's still pretty warm.
In California.
Wouldn't the windows have been up and then been running the air conditioning probably if they were in the car?
If it was turned on, maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I just think if you could, that there's a clue in that on how the windows were found, possibly. And if you were wanting to put the car in, wanting to go down quick, you would want windows down.
Yeah, so the air pocket.
Because it would take a lot longer for it to sink if the windows were all up.
Yeah. And another thing I heard was it was in neutral because they didn't have to put it in drive to get it out of the water. I've heard that a couple times. And I can't remember where I heard it. He was asking, have y'all heard that? The car was in neutral.
See, because I think if we knew that for sure, there's something to that too. I think if it was in neutral, that would tell me that it was pushed in. It's the only reason I can think of that the car would be in neutral in the water.
Right.
Because if somebody drove into the water, it should have been in drive.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or I would think.
Yeah, you'd be driving down the road. It would have to be in drive if it was an accident.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think if the car was in neutral, that means to me somebody pushed it in or got it in somehow.
Right.
And it wasn't an accident.
Yeah, and where it was, I know they're saying it probably went into the lake in a different area because if it went in where they found her, that's a long distance in between the road and the lake.
Not confirmed on what year it was in. Okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, because I've heard both. So.
And maybe we should go back and watch it when they pull it out.
Yeah, if they have to do anything for the tires, I guess I don't know.
But I think that would it would give you a big if it was in neutral and the window was down or see I'd like to know I don't know that the window was broke. I know he says it that one time in the video, but outside of that, every time they describe it, they never mention it's broke again. They refer to it as down.
Yeah, I watched the video again, then pulling it out of the water. It's all the way down, like nothing's sticking up. So it's either rolled all the way down or broken all the way out. Now, if it's broken all the way out, you know how the glass is, it usually shatter. It don't just all shatter, it stays together, the type of glass it is. So I don't know. I wonder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How it's made. It's laminated or whatever, where it has that film over it so it don't shatter everywhere. So.
Okay, he's saying driver back half down, front passenger busted.
Okay. Huh.
Now, it makes you think. I would like to know if she was a seatbelt user.
Yeah.
I think that'd tell you a lot. I feel like if she was an avid seatbelt user, there's a good chance she would have still been in the seatbelt.
If it was busted, I'm thinking maybe, my opinion, I think somebody else was driving her. Maybe they got out and she didn't. So I don't know.
I would love to know if she was an avid seatbelt wearer. Because I know me, I wear my seatbelt because I want to put on a good example for my kids. I don't personally believe a seatbelt's going to save you every time. I don't know. But I do it so the kids will do it. I don't want to be preaching one thing and doing another.
Yeah.
And I know every time I get in the car, it's part of my routine of just as much as starting the ignition. I always put it on. And I think even if I was a little tipsy, I would still probably do it. I think if she was a seatbelt user, an avid one, I feel like she would have put it on, and that would tell us a lot. I'd love to know that.
Unless she got knocked out, the window's broken down. She got her seatbelt off because it wasn't on her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if she wasn't wearing her, I don't know. She probably was wearing her seatbelt, I think. You think she had got out right at the window that was down, busted out. They'll be able to tell a lot when they get the autopsy back if she actually was passed away before it actually went in the water. They could probably tell by if she had, if she breathed in the water from drowning. I know there's a way they can tell. So you know what I'm saying? If she's actually inhaled the water, because if she was,
there's water in her lungs. Yeah. That means she was alive when she went in the water.
Yeah, and they probably know, they just haven't released it. So.
What do you think though about the school of thought that the car wasn't there when the police searched it the first time?
Yeah, what do you think about that? It might have happened because as much as they searched and where it was, you think they would be able to see it, especially if they had drones and stuff. Because I could see it, once they did find it. I don't know.
I really question if the car was there when the police searched it. I really, really do. Because I think as close as it was, I think they would have found it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I swear, almost half of me thinks that the car wasn't there when it was searched.
Bonnie asked, did you see the seatbelt sticking out the back hatch? They thin belted down. What? Let me read that again. Did you see the seatbelt sticking out the back hatch? I don't know what that means. Will you read it? See if you decipher it.
I seen that. That's why I didn't read it. Okay. I didn't understand.
Bonnie, sorry. Let's see here. She might have put it down here.
Wanting to see the autopsy.
Well, today's topic on this is, was she strapped down in the hatch? Just saying.
There was a lot of drugs before booze at the party. Yeah, I'm expecting her her toxicology to show she was partying.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that'll tell the most is, like we were saying, about if she has water in her lungs.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, would she have water in her lungs after being there for so long? I don't know.
See, I don't know either. That's what I'm wondering.
I've always got the feeling that your lungs didn't feel unless you were breathing in.
Maybe water would go down in your throat, but not actually in your lungs. I don't know.
Right.
That's what I was wondering too.
Yeah. There may be a belt on the back to secure cargo. Yeah. I think though it's gonna make me think she wasn't wearing a seatbelt though. I still think she would have been in the front if she'd have been in the seatbelt. That's my opinion. It's based on nothing but speculation, but I really feel like she didn't have the seatbelt on. And with the window being out, that makes me think it could have been like when two people went in, somebody made it out and was too scared to say what happened, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they were all drinking, or one of them offered to take her home, and he got out and couldn't get her out and didn't want to see anything get in trouble.
And I also think it would be hard for a body to make it to the back seat.
Yeah.
Too. Because if you think about above the headrest right to the ceiling, there's not that much room. And, you know, it's not like a body, it's going to be like.
Right.
It seems like to me it'd be hard for a body to make it to the back seat in the water. Don't it?
Yeah.
But once again, I don't know. You know, we definitely know that she didn't have the seatbelt on, in my opinion, or she would have still been in the front. But was she ever in the front, or was the reason they found her in the back because that's where she was when the car went in the water?
Right.
And I hate to be a conspiracist on this, but some of that just doesn't seem right to me.
It don't make sense, yeah.
It doesn't make sense how the cops missed it where AWP found it. The more I thought about that, I thought, I never could think that the cops were that incompetent.
Right.
Even though at the time, that's what I believed, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, do we know the car was in there? And that sounds like a conspiracy theory. I know it does. And everybody's going to be like, oh, that's crazy. But it makes you wonder how they missed it. Because it wasn't that far out.
Yeah. Brenda said Doug from AWP was on duty running and said they know so much more that they can't say it yet. So I'm leaning toward foul play.
Well, I mean, they have a video that says accident or foul play.
Yeah.
And in the video, you get a feeling he thinks it was foul play.
Like, yeah, he knows more than we do. So.
Now, if y'all have watched a bunch of AWP, they had a guy that says he thinks he brought her gas, or no, jump started her car. Is that what it was?
It was a AAA guy.
AAA guy had come, but I don't think that was Kylie. Do you? Have y'all heard the story?
It was before the Adventures with Purpose video.
Yeah.
They interviewed the guy.
And he said it was on Saturday or Sunday. He thought that was it Jumpstart?
Yeah, it's Jumpstart is the battery.
The battery, yeah. And said that Kylie was with some guy. I don't know.
He didn't really say Kylie. He said some girl. So.
Because that would have been Saturday, and they were already looking for her by then. Was she there and nobody else seen her?
Yeah, maybe you got the day mixed up. I don't know.
I think he's either got the day mixed up or it's not her.
Yeah, you could see it in AWP drone shot the car. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure law enforcement had a drone. You know, you could see the vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. Suzette, bye. She gotta go work. See you later.
I think that Kylie was already passed in the back of the car.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
To me, I think it's either that or she was riding in the back of the car when it went in the water.
Mm-hmm. Now, Donna did a read, and I know some of y'all know about psychics, but she's saying there's a guy that was at the party that was either driving and went into the water, and he got out and she didn't, but there's a guy involved. So
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, you said she describes him like as a wakeboarder.
Yeah,
That's specific.
Yeah, she keeps on saying that over and over.
Now, if some pro wakeboarder turns out to be behind this, I might have to join the psychic realm too. We'll see. Who knows, you know? I think it's definitely something suspicious, though. The fact that it was found where it was, the fact that there was so many people there and it seemed like nobody noticed any of this had happened. And, you know, when would that have happened? Because the party still wasn't that far away. You would have thought there'd have been a straggler on the beach or somewhere, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
weird. That would have heard the car go in?
Something.
I think there is definitely witnesses that seen that happen. Definitely. Don't you?
So yeah, something. It's not right.
I think we're going to find out this was foul play. I really think.
Yeah. And for you to know your friend is that drunk and let him drive, I got a problem with that. You won't ride with them, but you'll let them drive.
See, exactly. And I'm just going to say this.
That's not a true friend, I don't think, in my opinion.
When I was younger, I did dumb shit. But there was a bro code. If somebody you was worried about them being able to drive, you would at least ride with them.
Yeah.
You know, the co-pilot help out. You would not let that person just leave by themselves. You know, and the thing about that too is like you're friends, but it's like once you figured out she couldn't drive you home, you secured you a ride home, and then kind of just left her to fend for herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think everybody has teenagers needs to talk to them and their friends about how you need to be looking out for each other, especially younger girls. You know, it's not a good friend thing to do.
Yeah.
What do you think about other creators fixing the blurred images of Kylie's body so people could see it? I didn't look at those pics and think it's disgusting.
That's awful.
I agree with what you say. That's disgusting. There's no reason anybody needs to see that. It's disrespectful to the family as it can be, and I would be no part of that. I haven't seen any of that, but that's gross, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Wow.
The poor family, the dad, you see him, he came right away. It was awful. I think he knows something's up too, I'm sure. How he acted on that video when he said the windows were down. Kylie's dad.
Yeah. I felt so bad because it's in the video. Him basically finding out,
Yeah.
You know, and he leaves because he don't want to see his daughter like that. And then you got some schmuck on YouTube trying to show it to everybody for views. Whoever did that, I don't care who they are. You're gross.
Mm-hmm. They blur it out for a reason. It's disrespectful to the family. That's why they're so, invested, like covering the car up and stuff so nobody sees that, and evidence, but
why does anybody need to see that?
I don't know.
Whoever wants to see that, people that are watching that and follow somebody that shows that, I have a problem with your thought process.
Yeah, really. It's very sad.
Yeah, it is. But that's, I think when her autopsy comes back, we're going to know.
Yeah.
And I think if it comes back,
they might even not release it. They might, arrest or whatever they want to do before that. So who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they know. So.
I would say that it's probably, well, the autopsy's already been done. So.
You think?
I would, of course.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they say it takes weeks. I don't know. Maybe a case like this, they can get it done real fast. The toxicology is wondered. I know it sometimes takes a little bit. They can do it fast. That tells you in Eliza's case how fast they can do DNA. It's not no weeks. If they want to do it, they can get it done. So.
I was disgusted and won't watch anything that creator does again.
There's no need for that. Really.
I'm kind of interested to know who did it, but I don't want to.
You could probably find it, I'm sure.
Well, I don't want to see it either. I don't know why anybody want to see that.
Her parents looking on Facebook.
How's that
on Facebook, YouTube, and see that as well.
Yeah. And how's that any different than watching a snuff film or something? Basically the same thing to me. My opinion, I think she had passed out before entering the water. Good possibility,
Yeah.
How intoxicated was she? That's the big question, you know?
And you would think where she went in, they would be able to find the tire marks and stuff, you know? The grass and stuff would be down a little bit, and they were searching for her right away. Like, they knew, like, when she didn't come home, you know, something was up. So there wasn't a long time, a period in between, you know, them searching for her and her probably. So a lot of stuff don't make sense.
A lot of it don't make sense about that.
So.
2 spirit box channels saying that Kylie was pregnant. That's gross.
I think she's kind of smart. She graduated high school at 16. To me, she was more mature, like her personality. So I don't think she'd be drinking and stuff if she's pregnant. My opinion.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I think it's just bad to say, man.
Yeah.
You don't know. And I don't, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of the spirit box stuff.
Anybody can order one of those off of Amazon and do it, you know. So.
Yeah, I'll kind of give the psychic thing some thought, but as far as the spirit box, I just do not believe the spirit boxes work. I really don't.
And I wouldn't mess with one myself. So. You're asking for stuff when you mess with spirit and stuff, in my opinion.
Said, someone could have drugged her. Yeah, that's why the toxicology results will be interesting. Now,
I just don't know what the motive would be, you know?
To take advantage of her. That's why.
Oh, yeah. Slipped her
a Mickey.
Something like that.
Or whatever they call it. What is that stuff called? BHB or whatever.
Stuff, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, call it the date rape drug. Yeah. But I think we're going to find out a lot, though, when the results, the autopsy and stuff come out. If they rule a drowning, then I think that's a possibility, too, you know. I just find it really odd that she ended up where she did, in the back seat. It seems like it'd be hard to make it through the back seat, but we'll see, I guess. Right?
And if her window was busted out and nobody did it, you know, wouldn't that happen? I don't think it would happen wrecking. You would find glass.
I wouldn't think running in the water would cause the window to bust.
That's what I was thinking, too.
No.
So.
That's why I was so into, was the window busted or was it down? I know they said it was busted one time, but I can't find them saying that after that. I think criminal charge for the 18-year-old friend in foul play for organizing the party, drinking with her all night, then leaving her there knowing she was effed up. You know, can't you get in trouble for a DUI if you're in the car? Ain't there I'm pretty sure you can get in trouble for that. So I would think, that could be something to look into. I tell you, I thought Kylie's parents were really stand up when they had their response to when she was found, that they wasn't, out saying, we would get somebody with the shoot. They were more about, want to remember Kylie for who she was and that, her talents and stuff like that. And I thought that was that her parents have really handled everything pretty classy.
Yeah.
And everybody should pray for her parents because they, it's a bad thing to go through, no matter what, no matter how it happened. They lost their child.
I wonder, like, she talked to her mom. I guess I wouldn't think her mom knew she was at a party drinking, Or no way the mom would be like, yeah, get in the car to drive home. Maybe she thought she was just I don't know what she thought.
Well, you know how you are when you're a teen. You ain't going to call your mom and be like, hey, I'm drinking. You're going to be like, hey, I'm at Becky's house.
Hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that's another reason I still come back to the window being down thing, too, is why was that window down? Was it to help the car go down, or was it down for another reason. We're going to find out when we get some autopsy results. You know?
Yep.
She was supposed to be the designated driver.
Who, Kylie?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's what she's telling her mom, maybe. So.
They're saying that Sammy had her at Tiki Bar, vodka shots for $1.
No, I thought you weren't allowed to drink. They were 18. That none of them should have been drinking.
No. They're all underage. Well, except the adults that were there for some strange, odd reason.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was really strange.
Teenagers.
Yeah.
That'll get you in trouble. So.
You ready to sign off?
I guess.
We gotta go get a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Tell us what y'all think about the whole Kylie situation.
Might do a video. Everybody else has done a video.
I think we're going to do a video and we'll look into it more to make sure what we go by is right.
Yeah.
And try to dig up the condition of the car and all that and see what we think.
Definitely.
Thanks everybody for coming. We'll see you guys soon. It ain't going to be that long. And for the people that are doing the Game of Thrones stuff, I might do a live on the other channel for that tonight. Pretty much on it.
I like the other Game of Thrones. If it gets more interesting, it'd be good. Have maybe a few more characters.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. We're going to go pick up our child and we'll see you guys soon.
See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
I was drinking